So guys, welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. I'm Carmack, next to me is Paul CZM Nelson. We apologize for you guys who wanted to watch the Quake match. We unfortunately had to wait until StarCraft 2 was over, but hopefully it was worth the wait. Let's cut into the, I'm pretty sure we are boring, so let's cut to the in-game feed.
Yes.
And Paul, how are you doing today?
Good.
You're doing good.
Well.
That's absolutely fantastic.
Looking forward to this game.
So yeah, the second semi-final, first semi-final, Shane Rafa Hendrickson, the title defender, and we are looking at a situation where basically we could see the same two players playing the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship final for the second time. So a very exciting prospect, but this game in general, I mean, strenx versus Cooler, that's already a big match, especially after what happened in Kiev. I was partially involved in this, where basically the power went down and we replayed the last 27 seconds of the deciding match of the semi-final, and actually there are people who could claim that strenx could have won if it wasn't for the power problems that we had in Kiev.
Right.
What do you make of this game? Who is the favorite here in your eyes?
I think Cooler is the favorite, being the defending European champion of IEM. These players have different attitudes coming to this tournament. I see strenx is a guy who's trying to come in and beat Cooler and possibly win the title, but I think he's more concerned with having his best showing at an international event so far. Cooler's goal is definitely to win the whole tournament. I mean, they're both going to have quite a difficulty doing so against Rafa in the final, but this is kind of a grudge match in a little sense. Cooler's kind of made fun of strenx after previous wins over him, and strenx at the same time has said many times that he's really looking forward to beating Cooler. So yeah, let's see what's going on the server here.
We don't see strenx in the server.
Yeah, strenx is not here yet.
We need to get him in. Would you please signal to the referees that we are ready to go? And yeah, very interesting story. Strenx in an interview said that he would really want, that was before the quarterfinals, he would really want Cooler to beat Avec in order to play Cooler in the semi-final, because after winning in Kiev, Cooler got really arrogant and apparently has a very bad attitude, according to strenx. And obviously it will be a very interesting game, because Cooler, after finding out what strenx said in an interview, also has some scores to settle with strenx. So there's going to be way more than just the final at stake. Although nobody can deny that being in the final is the main prize in this game.
Absolutely.
What do you make of Cooler's comeback, so to speak? Do you see him as a different player from what he was 6 months ago or 1 year ago?
I mean, which comeback are you referring to? Because well, he's been at tournaments since the beginning of Quake Live, rather continuously.
By comeback, I mean his seeming transformation into this champion Cooler, and not this champion Cooler, and not this very dangerous guy who does not win an event at the end of the day Cooler.
Right. I mean, he's had so many close events, though. I mean, he almost won the World Championship last year. It was a fairly close loss against Rafa, I think. And then the QuakeCon final this year, again, was a very close loss against Cypher. So, I mean, it's hard to say that he's...
And by the way, excuse me,
sure.
We just see on a preview window that in case any one of you is interested in Counter-Strike at all, then Ukrainian team's defending champions Navi have just defeated MTW in the semi-final on stage, and we will have an FX versus Navi final, which is going to be very interesting. But coming back to this game,
right.
I do think Cooler's mentality and confidence kind of changed a little bit. I think he's more confident. That's my impression of him.
So, I mean, this is the first tournament I've attended that he's been at in about 2.5 years. The last tournament I saw him at was ESWC San Jose Finals when he actually lost out in the first group stage to Chance and maybe, I forget, Cypher or someone. But, you know, I mean, seeing him at this tournament, he seems quite focused and determined. He's practicing a lot. You know, a lot of players prefer to relax in between their matches, take days off at a time. He seems to be spending just about every available minute practicing. Even if he has no player to play, he's running around the map, taking practice shots, practicing jumps, practicing rocket jumps, taking items, running around, imagining railing opponents in different places. He seems quite focused. He seems like he really wants to win. At the same time, watching him play a little bit earlier today and a little bit yesterday, his game is not He has some issues with his game, I think. He's been having difficulty in some of his practice matches. But at the same time, in his actual matches, he's had incredible concentration. He's lasted very well throughout the entire matches. Okay, for instance, his game against Abak, he won like 3 extremely close matches that required multiple overtimes. So, I mean, he definitely has what it takes to step it up for a game like this. strenx, you know, has had a pretty good tournament so far. Won his group, lost a game against the Hang. You know, again, the Hang, I mean, played a pretty close game against Rafa in the other quarterfinal. So, strenx hasn't really shown too much weakness in his matches. I would say that he seems to get a little bit more frustrated than Cooler does in some unfortunate situations. Cooler seems to keep his calm a bit better. So, I mean, the way I see this match unfolding is if it gets to 3 overtimes, I kind of see Cooler being the player who will kind of keep it together for a bit longer, maintain his composure, stay focused, and pull it out. I think strenx's best chance in this match is to win maps somewhat comfortably. Get a little lead, make some spawn run, and then overpower his opponent when that opponent tries to make a comeback. So.
Okay, so if you were to wager a bet, who would you put your money on?
Yeah, let's take a look here. All right, so the map order must be something like I think Lost World. I know Dismemberment's last. I know that Hectic and Blood are not being played.
I don't think it's last. I think Dismemberment is the 3rd map, actually.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Vertical Vengeance is last for sure. Aerowalk is the penultimate map of this competition. Cooler dropped Hectic.
Oh, okay, so that leaves Furious Heights to the 2nd map. So that would be strenx's map pick. So it's, I think Cooler would be favored on the 1st map, Lost World. strenx, better hope that he can pull off the 2nd map. The 3rd map is Dismemberment. strenx has played some good games in this tournament. I think Cooler has too. 4th map is Aerowalk, you say?
Yes.
Aerowalk, I think I'll favor strenx. I think he's been playing that pretty well this whole tournament. And Vertical Vengeance, I will say, I guess it was a close game the last time they played on it. So, all right, let me give a definitive prediction. I think Cooler is going to win 3-1.
Cooler's going to win 3-1. Okay.
I'd be very happy to see it go to 5 maps, though.
Who do you think Rafa would prefer to play in the final?
You know, I think the way Cooler's been playing, I think Rafa would prefer to play him. But a Cooler who steps up his game a bit might be more challenging. I think strenx's style is a little bit more difficult for Rafa maybe at the moment. But I think Rafa probably has a pretty good plan for either player.
Oh, well, anyway, we're waiting for the players to ready up. There's a lot at stake. Obviously, very, very pretty medals, a huge shining cup, a big check for a large chunk of the $20,000 in the prize pool, and a lot of pride at stake, as both players really dislike each other at this moment in time. We've had a very interesting tournament so far, very interesting opening games. Group of Death ended up with Cypher being eliminated, which is a major upset in this tournament, I would say. Probably the most major one. Second group, the other group was topped by Sparty, very, very surprisingly, I would say, who beat pretty much everyone. And you know, Avik was the kind of favorite for that group. But
okay, so Sparty won the group.
Sorry.
Cooler.
Sorry,
you mean Strenx.
Yeah, I do mean Strenx.
Right.
But anyway, Sparty winning the group is also a little bit unexpected. Strenx won the other group uncontested, completely.
He lost to the hang.
He lost to the hang, yeah. But fairly uncontested, I would have to say.
Yeah, I mean, he had a solid win over Avek. Well, I mean, the first map was pretty close. The second map was not close at all. And he beat the other guys like Kilson and Foz pretty comfortably, I think. Actually, his game against Foz was fairly close. It went to a three-mapper. That was a good one, yeah.
Foz was actually the guy who got, you know, he was the crowd favorite because he was playing so well.
Right.
He barely just didn't make it, but I think he can go home relatively pleased with his performance, even though he didn't go through, unlike some American players.
All right.
Anyway, we're waiting for the warm-up to end, and it seems to be endless. Why don't you tap one more time that we are fine and ready to go?
Cooler is ready.
Cooler is ready.
Strenx is ready. Intel
Extreme Masters World Championship semi-final 2011. Map has started. We're following Cooler from the spot. Picks up the yellow armor. What do you make of this spawn?
That spawn for Cooler is dangerous for Strenx if Strenx stays in the fight for too long, which he did not do. So now Cooler is not going to be denied a rocket launcher. He has an advantage over Strenx because he has a lightning gun, and if he can deny Strenx the lightning gun, he'll get control over the center of the map at around 7 seconds from now, and that'll be decisive in determining who gets the next armors and who can set up for the mega health. So the question is right now, where is Strenx? Strenx is picking up the yellows around the map, and he has a stack advantage in Cooler, but again, no lightning gun. So he needs to move in with his rocket launcher and position himself to prevent Cooler from getting into the middle area. Now we got Mega Health in 8 seconds. That's going to be, if it goes to Strenx, it'll be decisive. If it goes to Cooler, the players will be about pretty even in stack.
And Strenx, I think, chose to trade the Mega for the lightning gun. And
actually, I think that Cooler read incorrectly that Strenx had an ambush waiting for him at the Mega Health. Strenx was not actually in position, but because Cooler decided to give up the potential attack on the Mega Health, Strenx was able to get it, no problem.
All right, Cooler waiting there, trying to set up a trap around the red armor. Both players actually misreading each other a little bit, but Cooler doesn't need the red armor. Cooler needs just a good position and an advantage over Strenx, who has got the last Mega. So
Strenx with a very clean red armor pickup. This will favor him for the Mega coming up in 5 seconds.
All right.
Mega, and he's being a little sneaky, thinking that Cooler might try to get in on that Mega, but he's not.
Both players very, very cautious. Cooler picking up that yellow armor, stacking up on the yellow armors. He doesn't have the health advantage, so he definitely needs position advantage all the time.
Excellent initial rocket by Strenx, 100 damage. Didn't matter too much because Cooler can get the armors and the healths in this corner of the map. But if the players had each about 100 armor less, it would have been a decisive rocket, I think. Oh, and here's another important fight.
Very big rocket exchange over there. Cooler hitting a direct rocket, Strenx falling back onto the red armor, replenishing almost instantly.
Fairly
and tries to close down on Cooler and gets the first frag of the game. 2 minutes on the clock, and we've got a 1-0 lead in favor of Strenx.
Excellent read by Strenx a minute or 30 seconds ago, and just now when he read Cooler not going for the Mega Health and instead going up the jump pad. You see, Strenx had a fight with Cooler where they both lost about the same amount of health, but Strenx had his back to the armors in the map. Cooler probably thought that Strenx would go for the red and then the upper yellow. Instead, Strenx went for the red and then directly for the kill. And that puts it at 1-0.
Strenx right there mistimed the Mega a little bit. I think he's a little bit confused here.
I think he knows that Cooler got it when he let Cooler get away off the fresh spawn. And so he's a little bit confused on the exact second that it'll come up. But this is a fight that I think will favor Strenx. He falls off and decides to run away. I think he could have pushed a little bit more there. But he's playing it a bit safe. I mean, he has a 1-0 lead. So he doesn't need another point. He can win the game with the score as it is.
He's got good position. Cooler had just picked up the red armor. Strenx now picks up the yellow, goes up top.
And I could see a fight over this next yellow armor. Looks like Strenx is not even going to make himself visible, which is, I mean, Cooler does have the stack advantage now.
Looks like in order to, in this game so far, in order to get a frag, you need to cut off your opponent as Strenx finds Cooler around the junction, doesn't get a frag. Cooler will probably get full control from this.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate fight for Strenx. Just the way that they were positioned at the end of the fight gave Cooler free reign over the Mega in the red.
All right, another exchange. Strenx picking up a little bit of damage. Cooler raining rockets down to Strenx, and it's 1-1 as Cooler finishes off his attack with a lightning gun. But there's a lot of time, and I think Strenx will have the advantage as he spawns with 125 health, picks up that yellow armor. I think he's got the lightning gun as well, so he's going to have pole position to pick up the red armor, but no, decides not to. And
he needs a rocket launcher still in order to contest the Mega, which Cooler should get easily. So now, where does Strenx think Cooler is right now? Okay, he knows now.
Cooler, Strenx picks up that yellow armor, putting his stack up to 150, more or less. But Cooler has got position on the map. He is the one who dictates what's going to happen. Unless he makes a mistake, misreads Strenx, I think he's going to be pushing Strenx around the map as he pleases for the next minute or so.
Cooler drop down for the red. That gives Strenx an opportunity to move it on the Mega here, which he does get. Harmed a little bit, but these YAs that I'm sure he'll pick up, well, we'll see in a second. Cooler doesn't have time to deny the second YA, so Strenx will have a respectable stack.
Red armor is up. Is Cooler going to go for it, or is he going to try to set a trap?
Cooler goes for it. I guess players have been a bit more aggressive in attacking the red armor, trying to steal it away from the controlling player this tournament. So perhaps Cooler was thinking, okay, I can try to hold position here, but if he sneaks through, he might be able to steal the red armor for himself, and that will give him a decisive advantage in the fight for the Mega health. So
half of the match gone. Cooler's got control. Now all Cooler needs is frags. He's got a full stack. Now he's got, oh my goodness, good rockets there, but a very good LG from Strenx. What's going to happen here is who's surviving? Cooler is surviving as he gets the frag, fully replenishes his armor stack with red armor there, and that was a very, very good exchange for Cooler.
Yeah, good initial rockets by Cooler. Those determined the fight. Otherwise, he would have taken much more damage from the shaft and probably died in the lava when he fell down.
That first rocket was so, so crucial.
Wow, what a surprise. Cooler backs into Strenx's rocket launcher and eats a few. But hey, he's got a 1 point. Oh, that's going to hurt. He's going to burn. Oh, no.
That's definitely unfortunate.
That is an amazing shot by Strenx. I mean, you don't see those shots these days anymore just because players can read so well when their opponent's going to fire a rocket at that bridge area. And they're cautious about falling into the lava. But, yeah, I did not see Strenx's rocket coming from Cooler's point of view. So
very decent stack. A lead with 4 minutes to go, and in a situation like that, now it's tied. What do you think Cooler's thinking?
Cooler's thinking all times lucky, perhaps. I mean, we'll see if the luck continues. But right now, Strenx has dominance on the center of the map, and he catches Cooler trying to walk out from the lightning under him. Does a little damage, and Cooler, it might die in a fight right now. The rocket by Strenx was not square enough. It could have finished him off right there. I'd say Strenx has been characteristically quite good at hitting rockets like that throughout the whole tournament. That fight might have been an exception, but it's not going to matter because Strenx has full control of the center of the map right now, and he just picked up the red. Cooler does not even have a rocket launcher yet.
Cooler here, the Russian player under such an amount of pressure.
He's being very patient, though. He's not, you know, rushing out into the middle of the map and giving up points. And I like what he's doing, how he's going for kind of cheap plasma shots. You know, 4 of those can make all the difference in the game right now. And players are often a bit over-aggressive against an opponent with plasma out on this map.
Let's see what Strenx is doing. Strenx has got a full 200 almost.
So I think Strenx should be careful not to make the mistake of being not aggressive enough when Cooler is at a disadvantage. Because if Cooler builds up to 200 armor, it's going to spell trouble for Strenx.
He definitely needs to find Cooler before Cooler
doesn't know where Cooler is.
That's a tiny bit of an advantage.
He guessed that Cooler would go up that side of the map, but unfortunately for him, Cooler is taking the other route.
This is good for Cooler.
Cooler might be able to sneak a red here. Nope. Okay. Doesn't go for it. Or will he? Cooler's doing a great job not being seen. Just picking up shards. He's already made his way up to 150. And this could be an important battle. That shaft damage by Cooler was much more than I thought it would be. Both Ys up.
All right, 1.5 minutes to go, more or less. Strenx kind of in control, but that shaft from Cooler will make all the difference. As now Cooler has the ability to go for the Mega untouched completely. He's got a full Mega. That's going to be the difference. Strenx's health was at more or less 100.
Strenx stealing that red armor there was crucial. Cooler kind of gave a fake read that he would go for the red armor and protect it. Strenx picked up on that, but then maybe said, okay, maybe that was a fake by Cooler. Maybe he's going to go through the backside of the map and look for me for the kill right now. And it paid off for Strenx, I think.
Cooler very healthy right now. Strenx not so badly off either. 1 minute to go. We still have no idea who's going to open up the lead in this game.
We could know in a second here. Mega in 3 seconds, and Strenx seems to want to contest it, but Cooler might be willing to drop down. Nope. Just going for a pot shot.
Decent rocket by Cooler there.
That exchange.
All armors are up, but Cooler finds Strenx with the lightning up. Very nicely done, and now Cooler will definitely have the momentum for the last 40 seconds of the map.
Strenx looking a little bit frustrated. I don't think the situation favors him. He seems a little less patient than he should be.
But all items coming up more or less at the same time. Which one will Cooler pick to ambush, and which one will Strenx pick to just pick up and stack up? Cooler is, unfortunately for him, forced to pretty much defend the big ones.
Cooler's looking for information advantage and health advantage right now. Okay, so he knows where Strenx is. Strenx knows where he is as well. And, I mean, Strenx does as much as he could without the mega health. What's his hope right now? He should hope to get in a fight where he can do 100 damage uncontested. I mean,
and there we go, overtime. This match will be 2 minutes longer. Strenx right now waiting. He heard Cooler. He knows where Cooler is. I don't think Cooler has any idea where Strenx is.
This could be interesting in a few seconds here. Oh no, that's bad for Strenx.
Oh, and
that did
Cooler
not end
getting
well.
the frag.
Just one more rocket would have been enough, but yeah, that did not end well for Strenx. I mean, he kind of got juggled in such a way that he could not fall back on the ledge above the mega health. Oh, that rocket almost hit Cooler.
Yeah, but Cooler's got position. Cooler's got a decent enough stack to defend himself.
And Red's not up for another 7 seconds. This could be very, very bad for Strenx. Very easy kill for Cooler.
3-1.
Will probably decide the game. Cooler can just stand here for the rest of the match. Oh, guess Strenx snuck out.
Picks up the mega. Will he die? He will die, and we have to say that Cooler picks up the first map of this semi-final. Pretty interesting, pretty intense. Could have gone both ways.
Absolutely. I think it came down to a poor read by Strenx when Strenx had total map control, maybe 200-200. Cooler had only 50 armor. Strenx decided, okay, I don't think Cooler is going to go for the 2 YAs. Perhaps Cooler is going to go for the shotgun jump pad and then try to get to the top of the map or something like that. Strenx kind of waited there long enough to let the Ys come up and let Cooler come back into the game, get 100, 200. And then Cooler decided to be patient enough until he got the chance to steal a mega health, and it was all over. And of course, that kind of unfortunate situation for Strenx where he got bounced above the mega health was what decided was what gave Cooler the lead. But
well, caution is the name of the game so far in Cooler's games, at least. He finished his semi-final versus Avec with frag scores for 1-0, 1-0. The third one being in overtime. GG's typed out. Cooler finally picks up the map, 6-1. And he leads in this semi-final 1-0 over Strenx. And right now his arrogance is kind of, he puts his money where his mouth is. And Strenx cannot be feeling very good. He needs to compose himself. He needs to find a good plan for Furious Heights. But one has to say that Furious Heights is a very good map for Strenx. And he was actually during the map pick. I was there when they did the coin toss and map picking. Furious Heights was Strenx's choice, so most definitely that's going to be a slight advantage here, or at least we can expect Strenx to feel very, very comfortable here.
And of course, it's also a map with a railgun, so
that's also going to make a difference.
Cooler's aim is looking pretty good, I gotta say, and I mean both players can rail quite well, so.
Many players have compared this map to ZTN in the way it's played, in the way it's controlled. Would you agree with this?
It's different in that it's much more open. ZTN is kind of a bunch of very small hubs with many interconnections between them, whereas this map has essentially 2 large atriums and a few small side rooms with some fairly narrow connections between them. It's fairly similar.
Yellows if
yeah,
you're
I mean,
in defense.
You can cycle yellows. It's important to cross the map when you're the person who does not have yellows, and there are 2 ways or 3 ways to do so. There's one item that's hard to get, one item that's easy to get. The Mega Health's hard to get on this map. The red armor is hard to get on ZTN. And so that item is easy to get. And the railgun's a bit harder to get on this map than maybe it is on ZTN, but it is still kind of hard to get on ZTN. I mean, it is possible to control the railgun on both maps. I mean, on both maps, the correct strategy when you're at control is to keep track of where the opponent is, collect yellows, and hope to hit a rail before you can test for a major item.
All right, well, the
besides
players
that,
ready up.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody would like to be, for the players to be ready up.
Yep.
I don't know what the hold-up is, but I have to say Cooler's rockets are absolutely impeccable so far. I mean, even in this war map, they're completely spot on. And Cooler has always claimed, ever since I've met him, that whenever he feels good, whenever his hands listen to him, he's absolutely, absolutely super dangerous. But the countdown has started. Furious Heights, the second map of this contest. Cooler versus strenx. And we're following Cooler from the spot. Very, very fortunate spawn for him as he picks up the red, finishes up strenx with a plasma gun, and surely he will now try to contest for the Mega Health, but is not allowed to do so by strenx. Chooses to fall back to the yellow, and but very good read by strenx, and that may be a counter frag.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, extremely unfortunate spawn for strenx. I mean, that should not be in the game probably, but hey, what can you do? Uh-oh, looking bad. 13 health with a lot of armor means I need health bubbles. Because, of course, the armor only absorbs 1/3 of the damage, or I guess 2/3 of the damage, 1/3 of it going to health. So, I mean, yeah, okay, strenx is looking okay now. He should be able to get this red if he defends it from Cooler's rush. Cooler's going to go in low because he knows he has enough time to make it to the red through the low path.
Sharp versus sharp.
And this could favor either player right now. Strenx looking a little on health, but picks up to 25, so he's okay.
Well, let's see Cooler. Cooler's only got 100 health. He needs armor while strenx is still scrambling for some health pickups.
Strenx might be able to get a kill soon. If he can land one nice shot here. One rail is all he needs. Nope. Now strenx is going to give up the red. He might even give up a railgun right now, which would be quite unfortunate for him. Yep. Cooler's going to get the railgun. That was kind of strenx's main advantage in the game so far. I'm sorry, Cooler's, strenx's advantage was that he had a railgun, Cooler did not, and he had all the armor on the map. strenx might have been smarter to let Cooler get the Mega Health uncontested and cycle the armors on the map. Because, I mean, 200 health and 0 armor, you know, that health ticks down, and, like, one shot will take away everything you have. 200 health and 50 armor is another story. But, okay, anyway, how are these guys doing now? I guess Mega Health's coming up in 5, and Cooler is actually the more stacked player.
Long push towards the Mega, hits a nice rail. strenx answers back with 2 of his own, 3 make it 3.
And strenx will hopefully not go for more rails and just focus on this next red, which he does.
He's got good position for the red, so
perfect.
Cooler suddenly attacks, chooses to shave some damage off. I think that was a good idea to come in and shave a little bit of damage off and move back.
So, I mean, Cooler is waiting for that yellow, which he gets. And now he probably just does not want to for this Mega Health. Maybe he knows that both the items are coming up around the same time, so he wants to split them, which means he can't take any damage because that would allow strenx to get both. strenx only has 1 second to get to this Mega Health. Can he do it? Nope. Cooler snags it.
And that's going to be, both players are going to be going back to a positional game. Both yellows up. I think the players are going to share them, one each.
Cooler being very patient, not letting himself be seen.
Tries to collect information. He has a good idea of where strenx is. Still, red armor up. Very nicely done by Cooler.
Damage by Cooler.
especially that he did it. He invested, or potentially invested, health points before picking up the red. So,
and here he comes. That's a bad situation for strenx. But if strenx hits one rail here, he'll be okay for this next red. He'll actually be okay anyway if he can get in here without taking initial damage, which is going to be tricky.
Very good position there by Cooler.
Nice shaft.
Oh, and the rocket there gets
not,
the lead for Cooler. 2-1 in favor of the Russian. Now he has a very good shot and at basically taking control. strenx is nowhere to be seen. He picks up the yellow. Now he knows where strenx is. This gives him some information. He knows what to work with. This is very good for Cooler right now as he picks up the mega. He's got plenty of time to make it to the red. Chooses to maybe set up for an ambush, thinking that strenx would give up on the red and then take that upper path, but strenx smartly not doing so. But still, Cooler in control, and strenx only with 55 armor.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close fight that could have gone either way at that red armor, and it came down to that direct rocket around the corner. strenx being a little bit sloppy with that unnecessary rocket damage. But it looks like strenx should be able to get the mega health because it spawns at the same time as the red. Oh no, that's not good for him. Cooler knows that he missed the jump. Oh no. He gets it anyway, but yeah, it's not so bad for him. He might get a kill here even.
Oh my goodness,
That's an amazing
insane
situation.
Absolutely insane, and Cooler has to be furious. He absolutely has to be furious. One thing Cooler hates the most is players who hit insane shots, and those shots save them for absolutely unwinnable situations, and that looked like an almost unwinnable situation for strenx.
I guess it did, but on the other hand, Cooler apparently only had about 100 health, 100 armor. So going in there against the guy who just picked up the mega health, you're pretty equal, but, you know, I mean, the guy just has to fall down, so you can hopefully shaft him a bit while he's falling, and that gives you an advantage. Anyway, these guys are fighting over the red now. This is an important fight. It looks like Cooler, you know, hits better rockets, basically, and gets 150 armor stack. And no items coming up for a while, so he can hunt.
Think he will, or will he play passively without, while avoiding mistakes?
I think he will wait to find out where strenx is like that, and then do what he just did. But now strenx should get the mega health. Hopefully he won't fall off it this time. He doesn't, so it's good for him.
All right, just over 4 minutes to go in this contest. strenx
should get a rail here. Oh, he's being
Cooler
cautious.
Chases. Now strenx
could delay Cooler here a bit and maybe get the red without too much trouble.
Let's see how this unfolds.
Perfect for strenx. He can just back off now, and he doesn't even take any rail damage, so that was great. But now he's going to move in and hope that he can hit some nice bounce rockets. It's not going to work out. He runs out of ammo. But doesn't take a rail.
He just won himself mega health.
Yep, perfect.
Basically, it's always a risk when you've got an opponent kind of pinned, but he's delaying you. You either fall back on the items and let him live, or you risk maybe getting a frag, but then a situation can turn around like right here. But a good rocket there from Cooler. Sharp versus sharp battle. strenx equalizes again. What an even game right now.
Yeah, that was, just, I think, better footwork by strenx in that fight. I mean, he positioned himself so he could push Cooler away from the red armor with his lightning gun as Cooler rushed for it. And that gave him the extra split second to pick it up.
strenx now at the 100 stack. Cooler trying to deal damage as strenx wants to pick up the mega.
That's
Cooler
a frustrating
steals the mega away.
God. Not clutch by strenx, unfortunately for him. He's going to give Cooler the red armor here, and might even get in trouble here if Cooler rushes in. Nope. Okay. Looks like Cooler wants to get a rocket launcher or something, probably. Yep. Cooler has no rail though, so if strenx can do some far away damage, hey, he'll be in good shape. But does he know where Cooler is right now?
All right, Cooler at the bottom, waiting for strenx to maybe rush an armor, and basically then his rockets would absolutely tear strenx apart. Now Cooler will pick up the red. Is strenx going to pick up the mega? Yes, he will. strenx is in a fairly good shape, and Cooler picking up that yellow is just denial. He didn't really need that much of the armor stack. He needs the mega, next mega maybe.
But he's got the rail now, so now they're both pretty equal. strenx is about a 50 hit point advantage, and I think you know, strenx will want to get the next red and maybe do a little bit of damage before it if Cooler tries to attack it, which could happen right now.
I think it's going to be more or less about position, but strenx has got the advantage. He has a very, very good stack. He can bully Cooler around the map as long as he comes in early enough. But there's a very good rocket from Cooler. And now strenx will have to basically deal as much damage as possible. Oh! Whoa, my God. That was probably... All
right, strenx, get it together.
That was
very exciting moment, but what's Cooler got in store for you here? Better watch out. Holy cow. And that puts Cooler fairly weak. strenx pretty weak too, but Cooler is pretty pissed off about that kill, I think.
Oh, he has to be. He has to be shaken up as well. 90 seconds to go in this match, and Cooler is losing, and he lost the frag in the most amazing of fashions. He's very, very, very low on health and armor right now. He needs to pull something out of, you know, a rabbit out of the hat in 1 minute and 10 seconds. He has the red armor, but he needs health. That's going to slow him down.
I mean, they should have a Quake 3 announcer sound effect for a kill like that, like levitated or something like that. You know, I mean.
strenx.
Maybe, okay, here we go. Anyway, strenx looking very good in this fight. Did hit a rail. Cooler is almost railable, 86 health. And strenx should be able to get this red and maybe even rush in for the mega. Cooler's only chance is to do a lot of damage to strenx as he runs through the door right now. Looks like strenx is not even going to risk it.
strenx is going to burn time. Cooler hasn't got such a bad stack himself. But if he attacks head on, that rail was quite crucial.
Rail by strenx.
Cooler can now potentially attack head-on. If he hits that first shot, he will be able to equalize.
I really like how Cooler is not letting strenx see at all where he is right now.
20 seconds to go.
Oh my God.
Where is strenx?
Only 15 seconds to defend his lead.
10 seconds, 8 seconds, 5 seconds. Cooler is nowhere near strenx right now.
And that's
strenx got this. We are tied at 1-1.
Well
Cooler
played.
winning the second map. And that frag was absolutely epic. And it shouldn't be levitated, it should be strengxed.
All right, strenx, whatever you want to call
Quake
it. Yeah.
announcer voice. But we are tied at 1-1. And I think before that frag, Cooler possibly was thinking, hey, I've got this. Or at least, you know, I have a good shot at winning this. But this must have shaken him up like nothing else so far in the tournament.
I mean, in all fairness, strenx did live with 8 health left in that fight. On the other hand, if Cooler lived, he might have cratered after killing strenx. So it would have been equal, and it would have come down to who got the better spawn.
All right, third map will be Dismemberment. It's a remake of a very, very old map. I believe in your times, when you were at your peak, you guys, or at least this map was fairly popular as well, or used in a couple of tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, it was used in Q-Land 2, but as it turned out, I mean, either my opponent threw it or I threw it in every match that I played at that tournament. So I've actually, I don't think I ever played a tournament game on this map until this season of IEM. Maybe I played some practice games, but no more than like a dozen or two.
This is a very, very slow map, very difficult to break control.
It's kind of a map that doesn't really favor any particular style of player. It's somewhat in between the maps that are more fight-oriented and more patience-oriented. And as such, it's been kind of the deciding map in a lot of the best-of-3s that we've seen earlier in the tournament.
And this is obviously the map for Fatality haters. That's the map where B100 Death defeated Fatality in 2001 at CPL Holland. Or was it 2000? I don't remember.
It was 2000.
2000, yeah.
I think.
B100 Death, by the way, the let's say one of the mentors of Cooler, or early gaming friends, and he was actually the player that plotted that famous dive by Cooler at the World Cyber Games 2002. It was B100 Death's idea to basically get knock 0-4 out of the tournament. And actually, Cooler is actually things like karma, for instance, and he thinks it's bad karma to toss games in tournaments, and he thinks that throwing that game in versus 0-4 cost him the tournament loss. Wow. Up there, he famously lost to Socrates on 24.
4 rails in a row.
Yep, 4 rails in a row.
That'll do it.
And yeah, let's wait. Cooler obviously a very, very old school player. Strenx is a totally new school player. He was still unknown as early as 2008. He was already the best player in France, but yeah, he was winning, beating everybody in France without breaking a sweat. But
here they go.
our history lessons here are just reminders with some melancholy. Our melancholic reminders are over as Cooler picks up the Mega Health. He will pick up the yellow armor as well. And I think he's going to go for the rail.
He gets a little bit of free damage off on the lightning gun, but not a terrible amount. Nevertheless, he denies Strenx getting the lightning gun, which you know, gives Strenx just a few seconds less to work with. That rocket was very nice by Strenx. It prevents Cooler from muscling in on the red armor.
Cooler though is going to wait. He's going to want to shave off some armor from